I was ready to leave. My bag was near the door. My shoes were on. My coffee was still warm on the table. But when I looked for my keys, they were not there. I stopped for a second. I looked at the table again. Maybe I was too sleepy. Maybe I just didn't see them. The morning light was soft and yellow. It came through the window and touched the floor. Everything felt normal, but something was wrong. I always leave my keys in the same place, a small white plate near the door. That is my habit. Every morning, I drink coffee, check my bag, and take my keys. Simple. Easy. Today was the same. At least, I thought so. I walked back to the table. My cup was still half full. I could still smell the coffee, warm and sweet. I looked next to the cup. Nothing. I looked under the plate. Nothing there either. That felt strange. I am not a person who loses things often. Not important things. Not before leaving home. I looked inside my bag. My wallet was there. My phone, too. My sunglasses, a pen, a small notebook. But no keys. I looked again, slowly this time. Maybe you do this too. Sometimes when you look too fast, you miss simple things. So I checked every pocket, every small space. Still nothing. I stood near the door and looked around. The apartment was quiet. I could hear birds outside and one motorbike far away. The kind of morning that feels calm. But I was starting to feel a little stressed. Not a lot, just enough to feel it in my chest. I went to the bedroom. Maybe I left them there last night. My bed was still messy. The blanket was half on the floor. I looked under the pillow. Nothing. I checked the small table near the bed. A book, a glass of water, my hair tie. No keys. I opened the bathroom door. The floor was cool under my feet. I looked near the sink, then behind the door. Still nothing. This was starting to feel silly. I laughed a little, but only a little, because now I was really thinking, where could they be? I tried to remember last night. I came home, I made tea, I sat on the sofa, I watched something for a while, then I got sleepy. That part felt clear, but after that, I was not sure. I walked into the kitchen. The air was already warm. The window was open. A small breeze moved the curtain. I looked at the counter, at the fruit bowl, near the sink. Nothing. Then I stopped. I looked at the sofa, the soft gray one near the window. I sat there last night. Maybe they slipped. I moved the cushions, slowly. One side, then the other. Only crumbs, a coin, and an old receipt. No keys. At that moment, I looked at the clock. I was late. Not very late, but enough. Enough to make me feel that quiet kind of stress, the one that makes everything feel louder, even silence. What would you do? Would you keep looking calmly? Or would you start checking the same places again? I went back to the door. I stood there, my hand on the bag, my shoes ready. And then I saw it. My jacket, the one I wore yesterday. It was hanging behind the door. I looked at it. I don't know why. Maybe because I had looked everywhere else. Maybe because I was tired. I stepped closer. I touched the pocket. Something cold. Something hard. I stopped. My hand stayed there for a second. Then I smiled. My keys. They were there, in the pocket, the whole time. I laughed. A real laugh this time. Soft, but real. I took them out slowly. The metal felt cold in my hand. Such a small thing. But suddenly everything felt light again. The room felt calm. The birds were still outside. My coffee was still warm enough. I sat down for one more minute. Just one. I took a slow sip, and I looked at the keys on the table. Sometimes we look everywhere. We feel worried. We think something is wrong, but the answer is very close. Sometimes we are just moving too fast to see it. This morning reminded me of that. It is okay to stop, to breathe, to look again. Sometimes what we need is already with us. We just need a quiet moment to notice. Have you ever lost something and then found it in a very simple place? If you enjoy simple English stories like this, you can subscribe and listen with me every week. If you write your answer, I will read your comment. And if you'd like to practice speaking too, you can also visit my other channel. There, we practice simple English together with easy phrases for daily life. If you want to listen to another simple story, you can watch this next video. Thank you for listening. See you next time.